Hey everybody, it's Ron from Ron's Basement. Welcome to you and number one. I'm not number one. You're number one. Hey, quick video for you about a company that I follow very closely, which means that I have a very big position in Fortuna Silver Mines. So if you're not interested in Fortuna Silver Mines, you might as well stop watching, stop wasting your time watching this video, go do something else. Write a nice note to one of your friends. I don't know, do something nice. But if you are interested in Fortuna Silver, which I think you may benefit from being interested in Fortuna Silver, I'm going to share with you my thoughts and why I am still optimistic, and maybe you are too, about the future prospects for Fortuna Silver Mines. But first, let's get this out of the way. Fortuna Silver, if there was ever a poster child for geopolitical risk, jurisdictional risk, whatever you want to call it, basically having mines in areas that are a little riskier than, let's say, well, I don't know what's not risky now. Everything's risky. But they say like Nevada's really good and Canada, but who knows, that can change, right? So Fortuna Silver is the poster child for perceived jurisdictional risk. They have mines in Mexico, or a big mine in Mexico, Peru, Argentina. I've been to Argentina. I love Argentina, Buenos Aires. I'd highly recommend it. And West Africa. I've never been to Africa, but from what I understand, West Africa is like a really super hot mining area. There's a lot of great opportunity there, but there can be a little turmoil from time to time. Now, my argument would be that's about the only negative I can say about Fortuna Silver. All these mines that they do have are doing pretty darn well. Let me just kind of run through real quickly. Mexico, they just resolved a big permitting issue, which was a major ordeal. They've got their permit re-upped, or what's the word? Renewed for another 12 years. So that's a good thing. Big silver mine, one of the top 13 silver mines in the world in Mexico that Fortuna built, I believe, from the ground up, and they've been running for 10 years. The people in that area, I believe, really like Fortuna and really want them to be there. There were some political issues going on that was kind of inhibiting their ability to get the permit, and it also inhibited the stock price over the last month. Although now that it's been resolved, the stock price seems to be recovering. And that mine has a bright future. They've never really explored too far out in the future, but there's a lot of land there, a lot of opportunity. And Fortuna is being run by Jorge Ganoza. I've never, ever, except for these crazy trolls on Twitter and stock message boards, I've never heard anyone legitimate say anything bad about Jorge. I've never met him, never talked to him personally, but based upon my observations of him, he's a top-notch guy. I can tell you that Carlos Bacos, the investor relations individual for Fortuna, is a top-tier, top A-plus quality professional, in my opinion. Let's move on to their other big mines, Argentina, where there's capital controls. I don't really know what that means for the company, but nonetheless, Fortuna has a giant gold mine in called Lindero in I believe it's the Salta region, the northern region of Argentina. It was a very remote mine, so under the best of circumstances, it was a challenge to build, but they built it and they poured their first gold last October of 2020. And started the ramp-up process for the mine. Well, Argentina was super crazy about COVID. They weren't letting anybody in and out of the country. So basically, Fortuna had this mine that was in a remote area, and then on top of that, they had COVID restrictions they were dealing with, so they couldn't get outside consultants to come in. And on top of that, people at the mine were getting COVID, so there were periods last year where the mine was shut down because of COVID outbreaks. The good news in that is, number one, hopefully COVID is receding, of course, for the health and safety of the miners and everyone else. But the last year that they were ramping up, it was really hard, right? I mean, COVID was kind of ravaging on many levels and inhibiting their ability to ramp up. They still got the mine up to about 80%. And my thought on this simply is that, Fortuna has always come through, and they're going to continue to come through with Lindero, and we are going to see continued improvement at Lindero. I don't think we're going to see a doubling in production in the fourth quarter, for instance, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see third quarter. I think they produced 26,000 ounces. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw, like, let's say 33 or 34. I could be wrong. That's just my thought. But I just think that over the last year, between the remoteness of that mine, the difficulties they had, and then on top of that, the COVID stuff, that's kind of been, they've been ramping up under difficult circumstances. But Fortuna has proven themselves to be able to come out on top on difficult circumstances. They also have a mine in Peru, which is where a lot of the managers, the upper management, I believe Jorge and Carlos, live in Peru. Big old mine that's been around forever. Also has, and it's not one of their bigger mines, it's one of their smaller mines, but it has opportunity for growth. And then you move on to Africa. Their one operating mine in Africa had a good quarter in the third quarter, had some downtime because of a big ball bearing that went bad, had a bad ball bearing. The bad ball bearing shut the plant down for, a week or something. So we'll see how they do in the fourth quarter. Third quarter was good. We'll be optimistic that the fourth quarter is even a little better. And then, and that mine's in Burkina Faso, I believe. They have a new mine they're building in Côte d'Ivoire. I don't know much about Africa. But they're building this new mine, and it should be up and operational in about a year and a half. So then, look, this company is making money. They made money last quarter. They're making money right now with good gold prices. This company is totally, I believe, punished because of geopolitical jurisdictional risk. My argument might be, like, in a paradoxical way, and I can't really put this into words, but in a kind of a paradoxical way, that's already priced in. I mean, don't you think? Like, that's already priced in. And isn't there risk everywhere? I mean, there is, right? There's risk in Canada. There's risk in... So it's like, why not bet on a horse that has a management team that's proven they can manage risk and they can deliver shareholder value? Right now, the stock's trading around $4 a share. You have already have priced in jurisdictional issues. And knock on wood, right now, there are no issues. The other thing to remember with, just from a financial perspective with Fortuna, is they've got a great balance sheet. Right now, they have net tangible assets. That's book value of their assets less debt, right? So after you take the book value of their assets and you pay off all their debt, they've got, I believe it's like $1.3 billion in net tangible assets. And their market cap is only like $1.1 billion. So that means, like, for every dollar you put in, for every dollar you invest, you're getting, $1.15 in book value of assets, like net book value, after you take the debt out, on assets that are generating and creating more wealth, more cash flow, more net income. When you compare those kind of apple to apple type comparisons to a company like, Apple, or most any other company on the S&P 500 in any other sector, what you find is that for every dollar you put into one of those companies, you're lucky to be getting 20 cents worth of assets. And in some cases, you're getting like 5 cents worth of assets. So I don't know, just my thoughts on Fortuna. I'm very optimistic from a value perspective, but also from a growth perspective, that there could be some good things coming in the future for Fortuna Silver. Now, of course, a higher gold price and or improved sentiment to our gold miners. Sentiment to our gold miners is like, lower than the basement floor in my house. If that improves, things could really get interesting. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video and have a great day.